Hey there, today's vlog day 907. Good morning. Today is an experiment in how far I can make it on this wheel. I'm gonna meet Kate for coffee. The does I haven't been to. Give that a try. Have no crashes. Wait. Really, the issue is more about endurance at this point. It's amazing how much it actually works your feet. Feet get really tired. My feet have been really tired since I started riding this thing. It's kind of a satisfying feeling in the morning in a weird way, just like working out. But in the meantime, I need to make sure that I focus on what I'm doing probably for the moment. Status report, so far so good. Not quite halfway there, but doing all right. My feet are, I'm gonna need a long sit down after this. Status report. Most of the way there, my feet hurt. They're so tired. And my calves are getting really tired too. Whew, I can feel it burning. I shouldn't talk about it because then it burns even worse when you think about it. I feel kind of like a kid who took his bicycle, you know, a little bit too far, knowing he's like, I'm gonna go farther than anyone's gone before, and then, oh no, I'm stranded. That's how it's gonna feel. Coming back is gonna be brutal. Status report as we pass Martin Luther King Park. I'm feeling proud of myself. I didn't walk. I did have to cross one construction zone, and then I got caught off guard at a crosswalk when I was looking at the map, so I just picked it up and walked across one street. But aside from that, 99% of it was on the wheel, and I feel great. I also feel, you just kind of have to push through. It's kind of like any form of exercise. I had to push through the worst of the pain, but now is the time to take a break, and thankfully, we are there. Got some work done and was just gonna go home, but then Space Invaders, and I don't think I have this one, and there's another one near here, and that's always been the hope, is that I could actually hunt from the wheel. I gotta go find more. Status report. I'm maybe a fifth of the way in. I feel loosened up, ready for this. My right calf does feel like it wants to die a little bit. And I've got a long ways to go, so we'll see if I make it all the way home or not. Here's hoping. Decided to go for the metro just for a few stops. Because it feels pretty good, but I'm not gonna make it the whole way. Yeah, that was a wise decision. Now I still get to ride a little bit more on the way home, but that saved me 5 metro stops worth, and a couple of them are very long, or very far in between, so that was space, time, distance. Anyways, lunch, and then, you know, back to work, because it's a working day. I can kind of tell you what it's like to ride this thing. It's amazing. for starters, really, really fun. The problem is I just need to build up my endurance, which is what I was saying. And like, I did not realize it was gonna be this much of a workout. Like I feel the same fatigue as if I'd actually been working out. Your feet kind of just clench up a little bit as my calves are actually pretty tight now too. There's enough of a core element too. It's like, doesn't feel like I've been doing sit-ups or anything. Doesn't feel like that, but it does feel like my whole core is just tired after balancing on it for a while. And I'm getting a lot better at it, going slow, like being able to go through foot traffic and navigate crowds and stuff. Feeling much better about it. Only had to hop off of it once when one guy just stopped and turned around right in front of me. You know, where I had no other option. But really, there's not much of a risk of crashing it as long as you don't run into anything that you can't run over, like a curb that's a little bit too high, which didn't happen to me today, but that has happened to me before. Or if you misjudge like a pedestrian, like there's just surprises, which you can't do anything except be as careful as possible with, which had one not even close call today, really. But that's the one thing to watch out for is other people more than anything. Otherwise, feeling really good on it. And it's like 1:30 p.m. and I haven't eaten lunch and didn't have much in the way of breakfast either. So like, I'm hungry. Well, it was raining really hard there for a while I was working, but now I see blue skies. So time to go for a run so I can stay on top of my goals for the running goals this week. That was kind of redundant. Let's go. Got it in. I'm on track, but it's gonna be tricky. It'll help when I start doing longer runs as well. I need to start doing some 10Ks because I'm gonna try and run in a 10K with US Phil in February, which should be good. I haven't run in a race in a long time, so hopefully that's motivating. I don't know, I'm lacking in motivation on a number of fronts right now, but that doesn't mean I can't keep working at it anyways, and I think the motivation will come along. I'm steaming. I'm like literally, am I steaming right now? My arm is steaming. Maybe it's a little cold out. Maybe I'm a little hot, who knows? Running into a little bit of a problem here. I bought all these cotton pants and I need a new iron. These are the only pair that don't need to be ironed from what I've seen. So I need to go do that. I thought maybe I'd have time after I went for a run. I don't have time. I'm gonna go meet some friends for a drink, but before I do that, the reason that I was thinking this morning about the kid who's gone too far on his bicycle, right, and then feels stranded is because there's this story that I've never really told. I've told some friends, but my buddy Eric and I had pre-ordered a game once from a store that was only in the next town over. So I grew up in Pullman, Washington, which is a small town in eastern Washington, and right across the border in Idaho, it's a town called Moscow. And we'd pre-ordered this game and we had to go get it, and my buddy Eric had just got a brand new bicycle and he was like, I'm gonna ride my bike over there. And I was like, okay, I'll ride my bike with you. They just completed a trail, like a total of 10 miles, which was kind of pushing it for us, but not so bad. What effectively started off the whole trip over to Moscow was that Eric came out of his garage and he lived on a really steep hill and he was going downhill, and his fancy new bike happened to have a speedometer on it. And so he was a little bit more fixated on the speedometer than what was in front of him. And as he was going down the hill, realized maybe I should look up. And as he got to the bottom, looked up, and there was a parked car. Boom. Hit it, tumbled end over end. I'm not exactly sure how it all went down, but he was a little bit late. So he finally shows up to where I'm meeting him, which is at the trailhead. And he's just like, let's go. Like, he's got this really serious, almost angry look to his face. And I'm like, what's going on? And so at some point along the way, he tells me that he had wrecked, but he was really embarrassed at the time. And he made me swear never to tell the story, which is why I've never really told this story. Don't worry, I asked permission to tell the story before I told the story. Anyways, we made it all the way to Moscow. I didn't want to ride my bike back because it was definitely way too far. Eric finally fessed up to the fact that he was in a lot of pain and didn't want to ride his bike back either. We managed to talk my dad into coming and getting us with the station wagon. So he came all the way over. He was not thrilled about this. Came all the way over, picked us up, put our bikes in the station wagon, drove us back. Turns out the next day, Eric shows up with a cast on his arm because he broke his arm.
Here's my enduring reminder of that fateful bike trip.
All that to say, that's kind of the feeling I had today a little bit while riding, just without the broken arm, thankfully. I was just like, oh man, I'm going to get all the way there and I'm not going to want to come back. And that's kind of the way that it panned out. Really enjoying the wheel. Can't wait to ride it some more. We'll get back to it again here tomorrow morning. I hope you've had a wonderful day. I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning for yet more exciting adventures in Paris. And I'm going to go, I don't know, grab a drink. I should eat something at some point too.